Next on Worcester News Tonight, a man threatens a Worcester police officer with a knife. He now faces multiple charges. Plus, a quick and easy way to dispose of Christmas trees. They're a tasty treat for a familiar farm animal. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. A Lowell man is facing serious charges after running from Worcester police and threatening the officers with a knife. According to police, they located 27-year-old Kevin Costu on Gilman Street. Police say he had several outstanding warrants. Officers entered an apartment, but Costu jumped out a window and a chase ensued. When police finally caught him, he pulled out a knife and threatened them. Officers used a taser on him, and they were able to get the knife away from him. He's facing multiple charges, including 3 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon on a police officer, resisting arrest, and assault and battery on a police officer, as well as his outstanding warrants. And in Shirley, we've learned the name of a corrections officer who's now on paid leave after an incident at Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center. Officer Joseph Sampson was allegedly part of an incident with an inmate on December 20th. The Department of Corrections would not say exactly what happened, but they have referred it to the Worcester District Attorney for investigation. The Worcester Public Schools are taking precautions before recreational marijuana shops open in the city. Administrators say the legalization has them concerned and are worried more students will have the drug in their possession. Brittany Schaefer has the details.
That's a grave concern we have.
The Worcester Public Schools are worried about the effects legal recreational marijuana can have on its students.
Once every 2 weeks, we're finding a student in possession of marijuana.
Under state law, the city can allow 15 retail shops to set up in Worcester. School Safety Director Rob Pizzella says marijuana is the most confiscated item on school property.
We feel that there is going to be some of these marijuana shops that will sell legally, but once people buy it, they're going to turn around and possibly sell it to juveniles or youth in the community. I can tell you firsthand that it is in some cases getting in the hands of children.
Pizzella and the school administration are taking another look at their discipline for possession. Under state law, a person must be at least 21 years old to buy marijuana, so it's illegal for high school students to have it. If a student is found with the substance, they can face up to a full school year suspension, but some school committee members say punishment isn't the answer.
I'm never one that likes to see students out of school because, again, I think it's harmful to them in the long run. Whether or not there's any long-term suspensions, I'm not for that. I would rather try to be proactive and be involved in good drug education.
We want to provide that support to where they can become productive citizens and students.
The district is currently researching options other than suspension, such as an in-school intervention program.
I recently visited a program on the North Shore where there is a pilot program called PASS, Positive Alternative to School Suspensions. We are hoping that a grant's coming out in the very near future so we can apply for it and provide a very similar program in the Worcester Public Schools.
The school committee and administration say they are on the same page. They say they will judge each incident based on the circumstances. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The city's Department of Public Health is also weighing in, saying there have been a lot of controversy on marijuana and its medical effects. Dr. Michael Hirsch says because adolescent brains are developing through their teen years and early 20s, marijuana's most potent adverse effects are in this age group. Hirsch also says with different ways to take the drug like vaping, edibles, and smoking, it's much more potent for teens.
I think whoever is a responsible adult who's getting these products has to really make sure that they are secure, because they're making an individual choice, yes, to do it, but they really should not be allowing kids to get exposure to it.
Dr. Hirsch says teens need to understand the dangers of marijuana and the dangers of using the drug, especially while driving. Attorneys for marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaevs just filed a brief arguing his death sentence should be thrown out. The 500-page document is now in the hands of an appeals court. In it, Tsarnaevs' legal team says the judge's refusal to move the proceedings of Boston made it impossible for him to get a fair trial. They say it raises issues with jurors, certain testimony, and the fact the defense could not explain his brother Tamerlan Tsarnaevs' link to a triple killing. Switching gears now, starting next week, minimum wage workers in Massachusetts will get a raise. A Bedlam Book Cafe in Worcester owner Nicole DeCello says she's already increased salaries for most workers to help even out the cost of the business and employees. The hourly minimum wage will increase from $11 to $12 an hour. It's the first of a series of increases signed into law over the summer. The goal is for minimum wage to increase from $11 to $15 an hour over a 5-year span.
It's just part of the cost of doing business, and that you have to account for that, and you have to either bump up your prices in other ways to try and make up the difference, or, you know, just do what you can.
According to the Massachusetts Budget and Policy Center, the increased starting pay rate will raise the wages of 662,000 workers in the state. New Year's Eve is approaching, and as old traditions end, like Worcester's first night, others are just beginning. Samuel Slater's restaurant in Webster is celebrating its first New Year's Eve with a celebration. They're offering a 3-course prix-fixe dinner menu in the restaurant. Downstairs, they'll open the dance floor where there'll be music played by a DJ, hors d'oeuvres will be served, and they'll have a chocolate fountain. Executive Chef Michael Winslet says the first annual event has already sold almost 200 tickets.
Kind of provide a good place to go, you know, within the community. There's not too many places to go, you know, and do stuff around here for New Year's Eve. So, you know, we're excited to be able to provide something that's fun to do.
Tickets are available on the Indian Ranch website. It'll soon be time to take the Christmas tree out. And if you haven't already, and if you don't want to throw it out, there's a couple of neighbors in Millbury who wouldn't mind helping you out. Our Cam Jandro introduces us to a different kind of Christmas tree drop-off.
Meet Bonnie and Jackson. The two goats are hoping to help people clean up after Christmas this year.
Everybody just kind of throws away Christmas trees and they don't know where to bring them. What they don't know is that goats love them and they're a tasty treat for them.
Olivia Gadwall and her boyfriend have been taking care of the goats for nearly 6 months. The Millbury resident says they can eliminate the waste when people throw out their Christmas tree.
So instead of just seeing them on the side of the road, mostly people will just dump them or let them rot in the woods, you know, let them go to use.
A couple of trees were dropped off at the end of their driveway Thursday afternoon. Gadwa says families from across central Massachusetts have reached out to give Bonnie and Jackson a snack.
So we've gotten 5 trees so far. We did have somebody ask if they could bring 40 trees. So if they can't figure out something else, then they're more than welcome to bring them here.
The two goats have even shown some emotion after seeing their belated Christmas gifts.
So last night was the first night we dragged them in, and they scream. They were yelling from out there. They could see them, and they got really excited.
Bonnie and Jackson won't be the only goats who might put on a few pounds this holiday season. Gadwa says she'll be helping fellow goat owners across Millbury and other area towns.
It's a good way to help the community. You know, they have a place to get rid of everything, and we can use it for our animals, and we know a lot of people who could use them as well. So we'll distribute them and make sure everybody gets some for their nice little babies.
Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
If you'd like to drop off your tree, you can bring it to 119 Riverland Street in Millbury. Gadwa says to make sure there are no ornaments or tinsel still on the branches to ensure the goats do not get hurt. Well, Worcester's Girl Scout headquarters on Gold Star Boulevard has sold to Leominster developer. Liskiotti Development bought the 2 buildings on the busy stretch of road. The Girl Scouts of Central and Western Massachusetts is opening a new facility on Century Drive. Until the new facility is complete, the Girl Scouts will be in a temporary space on West Boylston Street.